up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Come on, Drake. Fucking asshole. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here to talk about trending topics, y'all. Let's see. I've gone past my stop, child. Come on. It's all this traffic, y'all. I made a separate video about Dave Chappelle and this whole thing. I made a whole video on it. I'm not going to talk about it here. It's a whole separate video. This phone, anyways, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. And then we're going to talk about some trending topics, okay? All right, let's go. Let's talk. Oh, the sun is high, honey. Okay. Let's talk. So I had some stuff. I don't have anything in particular. I just saved a bunch of stuff, and we're going to talk about it as we go through. The first thing I did want to talk about was that Moneybagg Yo and Ari Fletcher. She bought him 28.8 acres of land, and she was on the red carpet somewhere. And I think it was, what's her name? What's the girl's name that be with Angela Yee? L'Oreal. She asked her a question about, everybody talking about, what she did, right? And how it's a topic of conversation. And she was like, mind your own business. We are a generation where we, I guess, are relating to men differently. You're not. Let's be very clear. While you may be able to have more transactional relationships, you buying a man something very large that you have no legal obligation to or ties to is not different. You're not doing anything different. The gift is bigger, but you're not doing anything different than what black women do already and have been doing for generations in relationships. So while you might be the topic of conversation for your grand gesture of buying a man you have no ties to, he's just your boyfriend, you bought him 28 acres of land. So yeah, let's talk about it. So you shouldn't take it personal. It is a conversation that needs to be had as to why a woman who is not in relationship with a person, like a marriage or whatever, why would she buy such a gift of that size? Whether we're doing things different with social media, that don't have nothing about the way that men and women relate to each other have changed. It actually has gotten worse, sir. It actually has gotten worse, right? Because now you have a group of people who want to show everybody what they're doing for their partner. We are demonstrating transactional relationship. How big of a gift can I get for my partner and show my social network? That's what you're doing. But it's no different from the girl who only has access to buy the nigga a fucking watch from Nordstrom and that's it. Or bitch, a fucking watch from the damn kiosk at the mall. It's still girls buying niggas shit that really probably don't deserve it. So let's and then you're like, oh well, if he's my boyfriend, he deserves it. Okay. So let's talk about it. So Ari Fletcher shouldn't take it personally. It's a conversation that needs to be had. Are you a woman out here buying things for men and you have no legal obligation or ties to? And you're just buying gifts, these extravagant gifts. And she said that he's been there for her emotionally, financially. He's been there for her. So she felt like that's the gift that she wanted to give. But it just lends to an existing conversation. So while she may think that she is standing out from the rest, she is no different from the girl buying her boyfriend a watch from a kiosk at the mall. And that's the extravagant gift for him, based on her where she is. She just may have a little job here or there, but it still happens. So again, whether it's a kiosk watch or 28 acres of land, women are still buying men things that they don't have any legal ties to or obligation. They're just boyfriends. So it's a conversation. So don't take it personally. You're just being used as an example because you decided to publicly share, right? You wanted to share with your social network. Look what I got, my man. And so because you want to be publicly consumed, then the public is going to talk about it. We're going to chew on it. We're going to look at it. We're going to smell it. We're going to taste it. You put it out there for public consumption, so we're going to eat it. Some people will eat it. Some people won't. Some people will ingest it. Some people will be like, this is not for me. But doesn't mean that we can't have the conversation. All right? And the fact that she was like, mind your business. We're not minding your business. We're just talking about your behavior. It don't have nothing to do with you, Ari. Right? Even though you want it to be. You love for people to talk about you. That's the reason why you did what you did. That's the crazy part to me. Don't be acting like you're not doing this stuff for people to talk about it. You are enjoying being talked about. And that's okay. That's the difference in the world, where people, they enjoyed being talked about, but now they have a platform to talk about themselves and show their own lives. And that's what it is. It says, y'all paying. B. Simone is charging her fans. This is from the Neighborhood Talk. B. Simone is charging her fans $10 to join her IG close friends while she's on a trip to Mexico. She's charging $9.99. Here she go. I know her voice sounds like screeching birds, but just bear with us for a second. I want you to hear what she has to say. Okay. Oh, hold on.
You are not on my close friends, the CFS, the close friend show. If you don't have the green bean, what are you doing? You're missing out, baby. Good morning, close friend.
Yeah, it says, I'm in Miami right now and I'm heading to Mexico on Friday. Come with me, follow along, and join my private close friends on IG. You don't want to miss this. Only 2 days to sign up. B. Simone. After checking out, click the green button to enter your Instagram handle. By purchasing, you will be added to B. Simone's close friends on Instagram for 1 week. Please allow 24 hours to be added. She's charging $10 a pop. Girl, this is your lane. Like the self-help books and all that other shit, the affirmation books. No, that wasn't you. This is you. I was like, this is a good idea, because people who support her are going to want to see her life, like see how she lives, right? Maybe your life, right, and sharing your life can be the affirmation that people need to inspire them to move into action and maybe mimic what they see or get access to the things that you have. Maybe that is your lane. I was like, that's a really good idea. Like, if you want to see my life, I mean, I'm going to share it anyway on IG, but if you want to see the private moments, the things that I don't really share, but I have the video on or whatever, but I don't share it. Y'all want to see that? Okay, it's $10 a pop. I'll be in Miami for a week, or Mexico for a week. I think it's a good idea. What do y'all think? I really do think it's a good idea. Let's see what some of the comments say. She put it's $1.40 a day, relax, and 3,000 plus people and counting seem to want this content. If you don't want to be my close friends, and I'm not talking to you, see you 3,000 people in Mexico. She's 3,000 people at $10 a pop. Claudia Jordan said, why not? Everyone giving content away, and as we can see, the true winners are Mark Zuckerberg. If they're not willing to pay for it, why the hell not? Exactly. That's what I said. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. That's like such a good idea. It's a better idea. And I feel like when you operate from a space of authenticity, the money and the ideas of how to make money, it's going to come naturally. But when you're chasing money, you're going to like, okay, whatever grift I can get on, I'm going to get on the law of attraction grift. I'm going to get on the relationship coach grift. I'm going to do all these grifts, and it's not even aligned with your purpose. If you the party girl, you in your 20s, early 20s, late 20s party girl, you have access, ask these motherfuckers to pay. You want to see my fucking life? Pay up. Pay up. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Shout out to B. Simone for that. I think that's a better look for you. Brittany. Is that her name? Nick Cannon could replace Wendy Williams' time slot. Network looking for a backup plan amid her health issues. This is from the Jasmine brand. Could Nick... Girl, what was that? Could Nick Cannon be replacing Wendy Williams? The 13th season of Wendy Williams' long-running talk show has been postponed twice as she's battled severe health issues. The details of what she's battling weren't made public, but it has been reported that she's back home after briefly checking into a psychiatric hospital. Now, an insider has alleged network executives are looking at Nick Cannon, whose new talk show premiered last month, as Wendy Williams' replacement, the source said. The executives have been talking. They are keeping a close eye on Williams' recovery and hoping for the best, but they have pushed back her show premiere several times, so they're already thinking of a backup plan. They name-dropped Nick Cannon as an option and added, it would not be a far stretch for Nick to take her time slot. Debmar Mercury is really pushing, that they produce the show. They're really pushing to make Nick Cannon's show a huge success. He's already a major platform, has a huge fan base, and it's an easy win. So if Wendy's show ends up being a no-go, their backup plan is already set. If he already has his own show, let him have his own show. I know that Wendy Williams really loves Jerry O'Connell. Isn't he on the talk now? Or aren't they, one of the other persons, the other person left from the talk, right? That Sharon Osbourne show. It's like slowly going down. Cheryl Underwood is holding on for dear life over there. But that doesn't have anything to do with her. But I know that Wendy loves Jerry O'Connell. Isn't it Jerry O'Connell who she loves, and he's always standing in for her? Nick Cannon, has he stood in for her? I feel like he has. Do I think Nick Cannon would be good to replace Wendy Williams? No. I think you should give the opportunity to a woman. If I was Wendy Williams and I had a say over who the backup plan was, please don't give my show to a man. Please don't give my show to a man. I'm sorry. Give my show to the best person for the job, but make sure that person is a woman. That's how I feel. I don't know. I don't want Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has his own show. Nick Cannon has so many shows. I mean, Nick Cannon got... One thing his kids are going to be able to say is, my dad had a lot of money and he made sure we didn't want for nothing, but I didn't see him much. I only saw him on the damn FaceTime. But I don't know. Do y'all think that Nick Cannon would be a good replacement? I don't think so. Who do you think would be a good replacement for Wendy Williams? I think this should be her last season. If Wendy comes back, Wendy, make this your last season. You know, end on a high note, right? You don't want your show to just go down the drains like that. You know, end on a high note. You know, this is going to be our last and final season. And then give another person that time slot, right? And we hate to see Wendy go, but Wendy has a lot of things that she has to deal with. I think a lot of, not only does she have like the mental health issues, the addiction issues, but then there's being lonely and not having a lot of friends. And I think that, I'm assuming that there are not a lot of close people to Wendy. I feel like there might be a lot of enablers close to Wendy, which happens in around people who are like superstars. You get a lot of enablers, because if you're okay and you're getting money, that means they're getting money, right? So that's how that goes. I don't know. I think that Wendy has a lot to deal with. I do think loneliness is because of what she does, you can't really make friends, because one day I'm going to have to talk about you, because you're probably going to do something stupid and it's going to be made for public viewing, and I'm going to have to talk about it, because that's what we all do. All of us are doing what Wendy Williams does. All of us. We're all talking about things that's going on. So like a lot of content creators, it's difficult to make friends with, or be cordial, not even cordial, or be like friendly with someone from one of these shows, because then you're accused of a lot of different things when people find out that you're cool with someone, right? Or that person tries to monitor what you say. Remember when the Scorpion show and Tamar kind of came together, and it was like she didn't want them talking to K Michelle. Like, girl, what? You don't have nothing to do. So it's like you can't really be friends with these people. So I imagine Wendy, like, to the 10th power. Like, I really can't be cool, because she doesn't really care. She be saying whatever the hell she want to say. And we saw what happened between her and Nene. But it is what it is. Oh, Nick Cannon says, this is from Hollywood Unlock. HBC students share their gratitude after Nick Cannon helps erase their student debt. It says Nick Cannon is stepping up and helping students with wiping out their student debt. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, because so many people, they go into debt trying to acquire the skills and tools and papers and letters so they can compete. And then it gets harder to compete when you have this mounting debt and people calling you all the time. It's stressful. A lot of people are stressed out. So to relieve that stress off of, even if it was just one person he did it for, kudos to him and shout out to those people. It says Nick Cannon has partnered with the United Negro College Fund and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, and now 7 HBCU graduating students will finish college debt free. That like makes me want to cry, because so many people, like the debt for college is so high, and it's so high because it's like, woo, a lot of these people are not even working in their degrees in their field. They have to work other jobs so they can pay the bills that they acquired during college. So I am happy to hear this. I was moved by your stories and obstacles you all have overcome that I want to help you out. So our show has partnered with some of the biggest national scholarship providers, such as the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, to grant each of you a scholarship to cover your outstanding educational loan balance. You heard me right. Once you earn your college degree, we're wiping out your student debt. That's dope. That is dope. Shout out to Nick Cannon for doing that. We'll probably be dragging him in 2 weeks for some bullshit he said about how men and women relate to each other. But for this, shout out to you, Nick. Shout out to you. And there's so many stories. Amanda Seals shared her Nick Cannon helped me story. Kalani, she always shares her Nick Cannon helped her when she was at a very low point in her life and he looked out for her. There are a lot of people who have a lot of these stories. So, while we can look at a person, the good that a person does, you also have to have an awareness that they are capable of doing not so good things. And when they do those not so good things, we can talk about it, right? And we can talk about it when they do the good things too, right? Now, when you start harming people, vulnerable people, there's no room for you here. I'm just letting you know that. Okay, what else? I think that was mostly it. Wait, hold on. Let me go to one more thing. I don't even want to end it on this, but I just refreshed my IG page and it's a story. Another woman loses her life at the hands of her partner, who happens to be a black man. His ex-wife, I don't even want to read it because I just don't want to take, we're different. Yeah, the other day or yesterday, with the Real Housewives of Potomac situation, it's not the show really, it's more of the viewers, right? And I'm just going to say this and then we're going to close this video out because my battery is low. Yesterday, from Sunday to Tuesday, I had an opportunity to read comments, look at comments. I deleted and blocked so many vile, disgusting comments from people who watch Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, utterly, not just people who disagree with my opinion, but people who literally are vile. You know how Candace is sharing posts from people who cuss her out. It's the same energy. It's so gross. So I said to myself, you know what? I am not going to get to a space to where I was last season, where I was yelling at my phone about what was happening and the climate and what was going on around the situation. So I said, I knew that this scene was going to come up, and I knew that people were going to reference what happened last season. I said, you know what? I decided that I'm going to take a different approach because it's not the show. Because like people, don't stop reviewing the show. It's not the show. It's the people who are watching the show. The element is totally different from the other Housewives shows that I review. The comment section is not like the comment section for the Real Housewives of Potomac. And like I said yesterday, there's an element that comes with that, with what happened last year. When people saw that fight, I guess it was just like blood in a pool of sharks, and they've been circling ever since. And it really ruins the experience when the viewers are so toxic, because I like to get down in the comments and talk. And when I see things like, you're being paid. What? You're being paid. You're licking Candace's box, right? You dummy, right? You stupid bitch. You sound fucking dumb. And like, literally comments that you guys don't see. And so like when I'm responding, you guys are not seeing the comments that I'm seeing because I'm deleting them, because that's my job to do as the community organizer, is to make sure my comment section does not look like the comment section in the shade room. That's what it looks like. And I'm like, girl, what in the hell? Because my comments on Beverly Hills don't look like this. My comments on New Jersey don't look like this. My comments on Atlanta, they are starting to look like that, because I think those people have creeped over there and saw an opportunity. Like, oh, we can bring this energy over to this show too. For my grievances with Atlanta has to do with their casting and production. But with Potomac, it's the fan base and it's the viewers. And they do not make it an enjoyable experience at all. And so next week, next Sunday, we're going to take a different approach. Like I said, I don't care what any of the women say to each other. As long as they don't put their hands on each other, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't, because every single woman has said something completely out of order to the other. And all of them are going to have this, they all have the same rules. They all should be governed by the same rules. Giselle got on Watch What Happens Live and called Candace, said Candace's mouth was a garbage can. Then Karen comes out and says that she doesn't like the bullying. Never mind the fact that no one has told Mia, you know what you did by going to Candace's mom and asking about her personal relationship? That wasn't cool. That's why she's mad at you. Is that why you're mad at her, Candace? That's why she's mad at you, because of what you did with her mom. Let's explain the relationship with her mother, and maybe you'll understand why you shouldn't have gone up and talked to her and engaged in conversation like that. Let's talk about Candace's relationship with her mother. While we're so focused on Mia's relationship with her mother, what about Candace's relationship with her mother? And how that has been a topic of jokes and discussions from the very beginning. So everyone knows that's her hot button. And now you're over there talking to her mother about her personal relationship and the arrangements of her relationship. And you want to call it constructive criticism. But let's not act like the girl can't be mad at that. And then get even madder when she sees that her castmates are not saying anything to you about your behavior and are more concerned with her and how she's responding to your behavior. Right? Right? So if we want to be so focused on you don't know her mother, well, she doesn't know her mother. And for the girl to, like Giselle calling her mouth a trash can, when you have said the most, you wanted to start a rumor or mention on camera a rumor about a woman's child not being her husband's. It's crazy. I'm not going to even continue to talk about it, only because the rules that apply for one person, and it is colorism, because why isn't that same grace extended to her? That's why Candace is mad at you, Mia. That's why she has an attitude with you, Mia, because you talk to her mother, right? And this thing is like, you don't know her mother. Well, she doesn't know Dorothy. What happened to that relationship? Why is the relationship with Mia and her mother being considered and not the relationship with Candace and her mother? She has a mom too, in a relationship that she needs to repair too. While her mother was not a drug addict, her mother is a psychologist who psychoanalyzes her daughter at every step that she can take. So while whatever the toxicity in the relationship between the mother and daughter is present in both women. So why do we have to coddle this woman because her mother's a drug addict, and not coddle this woman because her mother is literally abusive? She acts like she doesn't like her own child by her actions. Why isn't she coddled? Why isn't her head rubbed? Why is it okay for that woman to walk up to this woman's mother and have these conversations knowing, you guys know, she doesn't know. She doesn't know the relationship unless she's watched the show. And I'm just going to take a different approach. The comments, I'm deleting them. I'm deleting them, and you're being blocked. That's just simple as that. And I'm honestly, truly thinking about putting the Potomac reunions behind a paywall, because I have to create a barrier for you degenerates who are operating from this low vibrational place where the only conflict resolution skills that you have is to suggest that somebody get into a physical altercation. You can stay on the outside. Stay over there. I'm going to create a space to where you will not be able to get in, because you really are only here to create confusion and chaos. You're not watching a show for entertainment. You're watching, trying to see what one person does to another and then how they can resolve that conflict through physical altercation. That's not even watch Jocelyn's Cabaret because I was going to review it. And I was like, I can't watch this shit. This is too much. It's too much for me. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm not doing it, right? So I said I'm not going to stop reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. You seem so invested. Go look at the comment section. Right now, in the comment section, the Real Housewives of Potomac has 726 comments. The PSA that I made yesterday was 247 comments. My Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, 76 comments. My Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, 67 comments. My Real Housewives last week of Salt Lake City, 126 comments. My Potomac review, when they were at Reasonably Shady, 518 comments. People are watching it because they want to see if I'm going to agree with their form of conflict resolution. Am I going to say she needs to keep her mouth shut like she's a fucking child? No, every last one of these women will be... I'll have commentary for every one of them. I enjoy reviewing this show. I used to enjoy reviewing this show like I enjoy reviewing Huntsville because I don't have any connection to any of those people. And a lot of people presume that I have a connection with Candace, right? You love Candace. No. What happened to Candace last season was unjustified, right? It was unjustified. And I have always had the personality that I will stick up for the person, for the underdog. I will stick up for the person who I feel is being treated unfairly. That is just my personality. So if the tables were turned between Monique and Candace, and it was Candace who assaulted Monique and not the other way around, and the way that the response was, and if Candace went out and tried to get in front of the story to lie about it, or she started paying people to go on pages and bully this girl, I would have had the same response. So it's not Candace that I love. It is the way that she's being treated. I don't like it. And the other dark-skinned women on the show, how they're being treated, I don't like it. It's okay for this light-skinned woman, Robin, to run up on Ashley, yell and scream at Ashley. But then when you do the same exact thing to the dark-skinned woman, Wendy, and start talking about her marriage, she needs to calm down. And she's being an asshole. While you have been allowed to roll up on Ashley and come to her place of business. And when Ashley tells you, get your finger out of my finger's not in your face, but this is my finger in your face. Very confrontational, very aggressive, right? Over her talking about her relationship with Juan. And now they get to sit in a kitchen and sip tea and say how unreasonable Wendy is behaving. That's colorism. If one light-skinned woman is able to perform all of these behaviors and nothing is said about it, it's okay, it's justified. But when the dark-skinned woman is responding, not even as aggressively as this other woman, she's responding with, my feelings were hurt. I don't want to hear about it. Now I'm attacking your relationship. Now all of a sudden she's an asshole. She's the asshole, not this asshole who responded worse than her. But somehow her behavior is equated to her overreacting and being an asshole and unreasonable. She just doesn't like me. She doesn't like my relationship. As you sit across from Ashley, who was the one you actually rolled up on for talking about your marriage. right? Mia and her relationship with her mother is brought into consideration. We have to consider her relationship with her mother. And so we have to adjust and modify how we respond to her because her mother is a recovering crackhead. And so that's sensitive. But the dark-skinned girl who has just as a tumultuous relationship with her mother, who seems like she doesn't like her, right? We don't consider that at all. It's not, we don't even consider it. We don't even consider it to the point where we tell the girl, hey, you don't know Candace's relationship with her mom. You should not have probably gone up there and had conversations with her. Instead, you have Giselle and Robin saying, we want to know what she said in response to Mia's interrogation. And then you have people who are suggesting that if you look at the clip, the same exact thing that Mia did to Candace did to Monique. What are you going to do about it? You going to drag me? What are you going to do about it? Boop, boop, boop. Except for she did that in her face. But we want to focus on the salad throwing that came after all of that. And then get in the comments and tell somebody that because I don't see it your way, that I must have my face in between Candace's legs. Girl, that's sick and psychotic. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but to suggest that you're licking Candace's box. That's the most recent comment that came out of this mess. Girl, you're stupid. I haven't looked at the ones that have been held for review for being so vile and disgusting. It's not the show. It's you viewers who just started watching last season because you were enticed, right? And you fell on a hook for violent behavior. And you've been dragging your raggedy ass ideologies through these comments on everybody's platform for now you're here again this season. I'm not going to stop reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. It'll just be some parameters put in place to keep the hood zombies out. Sorry. You don't like it? You can suck my dick. Anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.